Fam, we hard on the yard, hard cut bully kennels. I know it's been a minute. We just getting back at you, but we've been at a lot of stuff going on. Got a lot of stuff processing. But I wanted to talk today about some things, some mistakes. Sometimes in building of a kennel, mistakes here and there. But I just want y'all to kind of learn from my mistakes. And I want to show you my girl right there. That's my girl Diamond. She's one of the females that we kept from the big shirty litter. She was she was the runner of the litter. That's why we didn't get her ears cut. At the time that we was getting ears cut, she was too small and I didn't want to even chance it. But she's the topic of conversation today. We built these new kennels and everything. We got everything running for the pups. These are Debo. That's these pups' dad, actually. That's Debo over there. If you can see, he kind of got a kennel cough, so I wanted to breed him with Black Pearl, but I decided to go with Domino instead of Debo because Domino and Big Pearl and Black Pearl is what made my boy Legend and what made Miss Noya. So I'm gonna give him a little more time to really produce this time, and I think we're gonna get a lot of fertile eggs and we'll have more pups. But Debo got a little bit of a kennel cough, so he's got medication going, so that's why I kind of got him isolated from everybody so far. But anyway, we was building kennels, and now what I want you to understand is when you're building kennels, you gotta get all the sharp things out of the way because they can come back and bite you. It's like that screw I forgot right there. And you think that you got it all boxed in and everything. Well, if that screw is out there like that and the dog scrapes his paw, it's going to scrape into it. That screw's going to scrape. And the dogs are just jumping and knocking at the deal. They'll scrape the paw before they know it. So we went through everything, and I thought I had most of this cut out and everything straight before I put them in here. I was so excited to get them in. But if you can see this little bitty spot right here at the bottom of the kennel, you have to go all the way through, and that's what she did. She went all the way to the weakest spot of this kennel and found that little peg to get stuck in her eye. And it probably hurt me more than it hurt her, because when I got her unstuck, she ran on out and ran through the yard playing like it didn't even happen, but it really was not good. So we do have medication. I always have antibiotics on hand for my dogs. I have a lot of dogs. We always have antibiotics. We always have iodine. I really use horse wound medication instead of dog wound medication. A lot of times the horse wound stuff heals them a lot quicker. They get into a scrape or they run under the fence, scrape the back, something like that. I'll go get a cream, that cures wounds for horses. Works a lot better for me. So anyway, she's taken care of is what I want you to understand. But what I want you to get is when you're building these kennels, you have to get all of these edges out, as you will run into some problems, man. And normally this is a lot easier for me. And normally this is a lot easier for me, but I was getting this done in a hurry, and I don't have my drill. I got a house. We was over on the house on the east side with my motorcycle club. Peace to the Mixteca Nation and everybody in the brotherhood. But we was out there getting the house together, and I had some tools that I left in there. I'd be doggone somebody didn't break in my house and steal the tools and my big fan I had and everything. So we had to. So I'm out here building this, with hammer and nails, some before Abe stuff, with hammer and nails, and I was doing pretty good, but it leaves stuff, stuff doesn't go quick enough for me. So what I'm gonna do is have to go buy another drill and come back with screws, because it seems like it'll work itself loose, and then we'll have problems. So, but the main thing I wanted y'all to understand is you need to make sure whenever you get in a kennel, whenever you're building a kennel or buying a kennel, because the people that build kennels, self-made kennels, they really don't know this as much as we do, because we actually deal with the animals. So you really need to make sure all sharp edges, nails, all screws, all of that is taken care of and out of the way before you put your animals in. And if not, you're going to have to learn a lesson just like I did. And we do make mistakes here. We do have a great kennel. We've been doing this about 4 or 5 years. We do have a great kennel. But when we make mistakes, I want everybody to learn from it. Because when we do it right, I want you to learn from it. So if we make a mistake, I want you to learn from it too, man. It's transparency. You know what I'm talking about? And a lot of people are not transparent. They don't show you the dogs in adulthood, you know. My boy's got a little bit of a cough. Got me worried. But he's a great stud. Really good stud. So that's what I think about that. Now, what do I think about pre-manufactured kennels? What do I think about kennels versus dog chains? Because I got some dog chains out here, some dog runs that I have them on from time to time. Let me show you that girl. Show you that girl Candy for a minute. But I have some dog kennels. Dog runs where they can just get out and run on the run, and like a legend here. I got him on a little tie out right now. He's my house. He's a house dog along with Cream. They do have a pup inside right now. We might go in there and check the pup out. Stay with me. We'll go in there and check out the other pup, man. She's really good looking pup. One of my thickest female pups in a long time. She's the spoilest dog in Hardcut history because it's just her. The other dog didn't make it. And she's a real good looking pup. So stay with us. We're going to go in there and check her out. But that's that boy, Legend. He's the father of that dog. Now, Legend really looks a lot better than this most times, but we went out of town a couple weeks ago, and I let him run the yard, and he went around picking fights with all the males. So you can see now he's in timeout with me. Nope, he can't run the yard. He cannot run the yard for another 2 weeks, and that's the final. So yes, you do. You see this over here in the corner? That is a pre-manufactured kennel. You know, I got some boys laying up against it, and I have another one back there. Another one of my dogs in. So I do use those from time to time. Now this thing cost me $5,000 and cost me about $250 per month. $250 will buy you a whole lot of wood. All this wood in the truck. The wood it went to make this is maybe $180, $200. So you do the math. It makes no sense really to me, unless you just don't have the time and you don't know anything about building. I wouldn't buy a pre-manufactured building. These fence wire right here is called horse wire, and it is, see how rigid it is. You get these in 16-foot panels. $100. So if you get 2 of those, you can make an 8x8 pen that is great. That's $200, and then you got about $60, $70 in post, hammers, and screws and nails. So it can be done. We've done it over and over. This is about the 3rd generation. Now, why did I get to this generation? Because of the puppy that I got inside. I did not plan the breeding with Legend and Hardcut Cream. I had this bright idea to put this whole thing together, and we had the Bully Oasis there for a minute, where all the bullies was in one big yard, and they could run and everything. I had about 6 of them that lived together, Domino and Legend included. Domino, I had to finally let out of the Oasis because he kept jumping out. He wouldn't act right, so I had to let Domino out. But it lasted about a year, and in that time, I kind of lost track of Cream's heat cycle, and she got pregnant. I really didn't even know. I started noticing that she looked pregnant when we was out on the yard, and she started looking more and more pregnant. So I brought her on in the house, and thankfully I did. And maybe a week later, I checked, and she was already making milk. So I was like, she's definitely pregnant. Either she's definitely pregnant, or she's got a false pregnancy, which a lot of American bullies will have what's called a false pregnancy, where they'll act and have all the symptoms of being pregnant, even for us to making milk, because that only happens when progesterone drops, and that happens in false pregnancy too. So I kind of was thinking she might be false pregnant because, like I said, we did not plan a pregnancy. But that's why we had to come back and decide to get another kennel set up. I like Soldier Squad's kennel set up. Shout out to Soldier Squad. But I'm a little bit more country, so you know mine is gonna be a little bit more. My kennels are always based on like a horse kennels because I raised a lot of horses. I used to breed quarter horses, walking horses. So I'm used to stables, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm used to how you access them to feed and all that. So that's kind of my setup when I'm doing kennels. But you can do it any way you want, as long as you remember, keep the sharp points out. Put the fence on the inside, so we got to come on the outside with a deal. Keep the fence on the inside so that they can be pushing out against it, and keep all your sharp edges done. No, this kennel is not finished. Like I said, I seen that mistake, so I wanted to do this video right quick. But we getting ready to go back to the store to get me another power drill to replace the one that got borrowed. Then we're gonna get back to work, man. But anyway, man, if you ain't did it, man, you need to come on off the bench for the big win, man, and get you some hard cut. It's on.